Hmm.
and I got that opportunity. Then I caught the bug after that. Like I don't know how anyone wouldn't catch the bug after that. Like performing in Japan, getting to see Japan, and everything that came with it. And after that, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I want my career to be.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.
Bonjour. You're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, and today we have an amazing show with nothing but amazing guests. She's the queen of kicking faces, devouring donuts, and snuggling up next to the cutest puppies around. One of the hottest free agents in the wrestling world today. When I say, who's the Yang? You say Jazzy Yang. Please welcome Jazzy Yang. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So let's get into it. We talked offline, and I was like, we don't really have to talk about this, but I feel like we have to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
WWE just did a whole deal with Netflix. It just started this year. Amazing things, big things are happening. You got to be an extra for WWE in Atlanta. So what was that experience like?
The catering was amazing. Let's just start off with that. That's always a great thing. I ate like 3 times. But any chance to be in that environment, to be around people at that level is amazing for anybody, and especially for me. I got to see a lot of people. I got to see a lot of people I met when I was a lot younger, like Rey Mysterio,
Mm-hmm.
Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. They all saw me when I was little, so now they're seeing me grown up, and it's like a full circle moment. And yeah, it was great.
So I was talking to somebody else the other day, and they're like, the road to WWE or the road to becoming a professional wrestler is never the same for everybody. And it seems like everybody that I talk to that does get the opportunity to be an extra, it's always a little bit different. So what did you get the call, or it was just like automatic? You knew who to hit up, or what was that? How did that happen?
So my dad has a lot of friends from when he was wrestling. So he asked one of his friends, John Cones, like to ask if there was any spots like for extras or anybody I could send like my information to, just to give them my information.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to email all my stuff to all the right people, and then they asked me to come be an extra. So that's how I got it. But I know a lot of people, they will email just random people. It's just like who you know and what
Yeah.
they need basically at the time, because I got to the chance to do it the last time they were in Atlanta as well, and that was through Gabe Sapolsky. But he asked like AR Fox, and then AR Fox asked everybody from his school like, "Oh, do you want to come? Can you
Yeah.
guys come like within the next hour?" So like it just depends on what they need that day.
Yeah, it's always different. But the thing too is, I mean, and I'm starting to see a lot of this too, because back in the day when people wanted to be wrestlers, the journey was a lot harder. Not to say it's not hard, but with social media and the fact that there's so many wrestling schools is a good thing. And also, the fact of who your dad is. But you made your wrestling debut at 16 in 2018. So how has the journey been from then to now?
So when I made my debut, I was like a freshman in high school, and I just my Kaz, Hayashi, and Nozawa, they asked my dad like, "Oh, can you come out to Japan?" And my dad was like, "Yeah, but can I bring my daughter like to show her around Japan, like not even like to wrestle or anything?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, she can have a spot in the match." So then I was like, "Oh, like this was like my first experience being in front of a crowd, like and actually performing."
Mm-hmm.
And I got that opportunity. Then I caught the bug after that. Like I don't know how anyone wouldn't catch the bug after that. Like performing in Japan, getting to see Japan, and everything that came with it. And after that, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I want my career to be. But my dad was like, oh, you have to finish high school, because I was only 15 at the time. So, and I
Mm-hmm.
played basketball, volleyball, softball, and I loved basketball. Basketball was like my first love. So I wanted to play that as long as I could. And then COVID hit in like 2020, my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually got to start training more because everything was shut down and we
Shut
had a
down.
ring
Yeah.
close by. So I started training a lot more and just getting more hungry. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And then once everything opened back up, I graduated high school. Then I moved to Atlanta. me and my dad, and I actually hit the indies and got to wrestle a lot more often. And
Yeah.
then now I'm here 3 years later.
3 years. Yeah. When was, because COVID is it's such a time warp, because it feels like it was a couple of years ago, but it could be like forever, because I actually saw you at Empower
Oh yeah.
in St. Louis. So was that before, was that like coming out of COVID? Was that 2021?
Yes. That was
Yeah.
2021. It was like right, we were like kind of over it, but like not really. We still had to get, I had to be vaccinated for it to do that. So it
Hmm.
was like just coming out of it, I think.
Yeah, that, I mean, that Empower was crazy. It just had so many women, just to see what was then versus where a lot of women are now. Like, you know, Chelsea Green was there. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So with that being said, like being the daughter of Jimmy J, sorry, my dog wants to come give me a shot. Being the daughter of Jimmy Yang, what was like that experience like, and when did you know? Because you know you went to Japan at 15, but you had to already have some training, right? You just didn't say,
Yeah.
I'm an athlete, I can run the ropes.
Yeah.
So when did you know, like, this is something that I might be consider doing?
So for me, I was always around it. My dad was wrestling even like he was in Japan when I was born actually. So
Hmm.
I was always around it, and he was at WWE, so I would get to go like backstage and hang out with Melina, Mickey James. I got to always see like the women's wrestling and how like I loved like the femininity of it, if that's a word.
Hmm.
But like the whole showy part and everything, women getting dressed in the locker room, being friends, going out and kicking butt. So I always loved that part. And then really for me, like I always thought about it because watching my dad and everything, watching the women's wrestling. But I really didn't start training until they asked for me to go to Japan. Then I started training for it. So I had like 6 months to be ready
Okay.
for just that spot. And that's really when I started training to get into it.
Wait, so now, and that granted, you know, when you play other sports, the mentality is always, oh, I can do this other thing. It's not like you're coming straight from, like, you know,
Yeah.
not doing anything, but that's a lot of pressure. So what was like that
Yeah.
first day of training like?
It was hard. I actually like almost broke my arm. I actually like I literally like, you know, when people like land and they put their hand down, that's like the one thing you're not supposed to do, but your body's not used to that
Hmm.
going into wrestling. So that's what I did, and I almost broke my arm. I like strained a muscle in my arm, and I had to go to basketball and be like, "Oh, I did it in practice here." I didn't do it in wrestling because I didn't want to get in trouble by the coach, so I had to lie
Right.
about that. But yeah, it was crazy.
That was so first day you almost broke your arm. And then was there a moment before you went to Japan, like training wise, where you're just like, okay, I got this. Like I'll need more training, but I can do this.
Um, Not really. But once I got there, like right before the show, like I got to do a little training before, and I was like, I think I got this. Like, I'm pretty sure I got this. We're just gonna see how it goes. But once you're out there, like the adrenaline like kicks in, and you just give it your all, and then you kind of forget everything that you just did as soon as you get in the back. But I was like, wow, was that good, or like no? And then I watched it back, and it was like got really good reaction. I was like, oh wow, that's me. Like it's crazy, like seeing yourself like, oh, I didn't know I could flip or do that.
Nice. And so what was like, what's the best advice that your dad has given you?
The best advice is that everything is important in wrestling,
Hmm.
like from how your hair looks, from your shoes, your how you carry yourself, like everything. Some people will think about like the little thing, like what's important in wrestling. They'll be like, oh, my gear, oh, this cool move, but it's never really one specific thing. It's like you have to worry about everything as a whole. So that's probably the best advice I got from my dad.
Okay. And now I saw in a previous interview that there was some inspiration from The Last Dragon. So
Yes,
like,
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit? First off, there's probably some people who don't know about this movie. So can you tell us a little bit about it, and then the inspiration from it?
So it's the movie's called The Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, and there's Bruce Leroy, and show enough, it's a 80s kung fu karate movie. You have to see it. You have to watch it. It's one of the greatest movies ever. It's a cult classic. But so my dad, this was my dad's favorite movie ever, and he actually brought Timok into wrestling, Bruce Leroy, and they
Okay.
actually had like a tag match and everything. It was crazy. But when I was little, I actually met Timok. Like he used to stay at our house, and then like my dad would train him for wrestling for that thing, and then I actually met him when I was 10 too in New York City. So my dad's favorite movie, then he made me watch it all the time, and that's how I came up. Seeing Show Enough is like, oh, that's a good wrestling character. So that's how I became the Show Yang of wrestling.
Oh my gosh. So as far as that, I mean, you know, you went from like in power to traveling. Like you've done some pretty big things in a very short time. What is like the goal as far as like what's your hopes as far as your wrestling career?
For me, it's really just getting to travel all over the world, see the world. I would love action figures, video games, really everything. Just the experience, just really the life experience. I feel like you get a lot of that through wrestling, and you get a lot more. Like if I didn't have wrestling, I wouldn't have been to Japan 2 times. I wouldn't have gone to Puerto Rico. So, really, just for me, wrestling's more about like the life experience you get from it and going around the world. So.
I like it. Now, as far as doing stuff for fun, what does Jazzy Yang do for fun?
I like to read fairy smut.
Really? Wait, you said what was the last part?
Fairy smut.
Fairy
like,
smut. Okay.
Like romantic, like fantasy romance.
Oh, so like a Twilight type situation? Is that kind of fairy smut?
Kinda, but a little bit more, I don't know, more adult.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, kind of like Divergent. Like I like Fourth Wing, Sarah J. Maas, Akatar,
Uh-huh.
all those kind of books. But I also love to play sports. I love basketball. Love watching K-dramas. I don't know if you watch K-dramas, but I love those too.
Okay. So what's a typical day for you like?
So a typical day for me is I actually wake up super early at 5 a.m. I have a shoot job that I have to work throughout the week. And then after I get off at like 3, come home, drink coffee, eat, chill out. Then I actually have, we actually built a ring in my backyard.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have
Okay.
like a little dojo in my backyard. So I'll go train there, do some like wrestling training, stuff like that. And then I go to the gym, then come home, shower, go to sleep, do it all over again the next day.
Oh
And
my
then like on
gosh.
the weekends I have shows and stuff.
That sounds like my schedule minus the shows.
Yeah.
So going back to Empower a little bit, Mickey James was a big part of this. And I mean, you just also mentioned people that you met backstage at Raw. As far as other wrestlers, has anybody else given you any advice? Like when you were talking to Mickey James at Empower, did you get any advice from her? Or is there any wrestler that gave you advice that was just like it's memorable to this point?
There's a lot of people I see on the indie wrestlers as well, like Dylan McQueen. I don't know if you know who that is, but he always gives good advice, especially about like confidence, like basically like fake it till you make it, like because I always used to have problems with the confidence issue, like walking out and thinking like, oh, like you have to walk out and like pretend like you have all the confidence in the world, even if you don't. But Dylan McQueen, Miranda Gordy, they both give the confidence thing. William Regal actually gave me some really good advice recently. He said, like, have other things besides wrestling, because wrestling is not end all be all. Like, the same way, like, what you come in with wrestling, like, you come in with wrestling with nothing and you leave wrestling with nothing. So make sure you have, like, other stuff. Like, wrestling's kind of like fantasy world, real life is reality. So just have a mix of both so you don't go crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because some people, there's two types in that particular instance. There's two types of people. You have people who, and actually Mercedes Monet cut this in a promo where I don't know if you remember, it was for AEW where she was talking to Britt Baker and she was saying, I bet on myself for wrestling. This is all I did. And then she's talking to Britt as far as being a dentist. And it's like, oh, well, wrestling was your plan B. And I feel like apart from it being a promo, that's very much the case on, case by case basis, depending on who you talk to. So with that advice that William Regal gave you, where do you side on it? Are you like all chips in, it's wrestling or bust? Or do you have like, yes, I want this to work out, but I'm also doing this as well?
For me, really, I want wrestling to work out really bad. Then whatever happens after happens after. But I also, like, for me, for wrestling, I just bought a house. So I have a lot of bills to
Congratulations.
pay. Thank you. But I have a lot of bills to pay. So with
Mm-hmm.
wrestling on the indies, there's not a lot of money in that. So I see the balance of like having, oh, I can't just skip work every Friday to go to an indie show because then I won't be able to make the bills.
Right.
So I'm not going to be as other wrestlers who are able to just bet on everything and just drive to whatever indie show on every Friday because I have to work on Friday. I have to work on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I might like lose out on like the exposure or stuff like that, wrestling farther places because of that. But really, it's just a balance. I don't, I don't know what's the right or wrong answer, but
I
for
don't think
me,
there's a right or wrong. It's also just what worked for you and what you take out of life, etc.
yeah.
But balancing it and purchasing a house. First off, congratulations to that, because there are a lot of
Thank you.
people who will never have the opportunity to do that. So congratulations on that. But your work is getting noticed because you were ranked on the PWI 249 for the PWI top 250 females. So what was like, how did you hear about it? Because I've spoken to different people and people are like, oh, like my friends started hitting me up or I just saw it online. So how did you hear about it and what did you think about that?
So when I first started seeing it like come out, I was like, maybe, maybe not. I never like guess I'm on it or like expect to be on it because you
Mm-hmm.
never know. But I actually wrestled in Puerto Rico like twice recently, and I met a girl named Nahir Nobles, and
Mm-hmm.
she was right under me. So I saw her posting it, and I saw my name. I was like, wait a minute, is that me? And then I bought it and checked it out. But yeah, I found out from her like friends posting theirs, and I'm like, wait, that's my name up there.
Let me check it out. So,
Yeah,
did you share that with your dad, or like, because I know some
yeah,
people
he
also.
bought it as well. He bought
Oh,
it.
nice. Because I know some people like they're like, oh, I don't, care, or some people are like, it's really a great thing. I think to be
I mean,
acknowledged is always great.
yeah, I mean, my dad's never been on it, so
Uh-oh, that sounds like a great dinner conversation.
yeah. No, wrestling list. Wrestling
Yes,
is very
subjective.
subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that. Another thing that you said in an interview is that you want to be featured in a video game. So if you could create, like, what type of video game? Because I'm not a video game connoisseur, but I know enough that there's different variations and versions of them. So if you can create the type of video game and the type of character, what would it be? And also, would you voice the character or would you have somebody else voice the character for you?
Um, for me, I've only ever played like WWE games, so I'd love to be on that. But I've
Mm-hmm.
also played like Sims, like Minecraft. I just got an Xbox recently because my boyfriend has one.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually tried to play Fortnite. I'm really bad at it, but I feel like it'd be cool to have like a skin on there and like they do like these funky dances on there. I don't know. Snoop Dogg's got one that's pretty funny, so maybe that would
Yeah.
be cool. And I would not do the voice. I'll probably have someone else do it.
Okay. All right. All right.
But
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, you're betting all on wrestling. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. They have games come out every single year.
yeah,
So
or maybe like a K-pop. Like you could do like a K-pop dance. They could do like a K-pop dance, K-pop song. I can't sing, so someone's definitely gonna have to sing it. But
well, speaking of singing, you're also a huge fan of High School Musical, and
yes.
so like, do you have like when you work out? Is there like go-to tracks that you go to?
Well, right now it's the Wicked soundtrack.
Okay.
For me, like Wicked, like Cynthia Erivo, I'm Not That Girl, and The Wizard and I've been playing those like on repeat for like the past
Mm-hmm.
like ever since it came out, really. But and then like I also love Disney movies. I feel like Tarzan and Pocahontas have like the best soundtracks. Mulan.
Okay. All right.
But I also love Selena Quintanilla, and Michael Jackson. I really love everybody. I love Taylor Swift too. I love every genre. Like I
Okay.
like all music, but
Man, your playlist lists me like crazy, like all over the
yeah,
place.
it's just random. Depends on what I'm feeling that day, you know.
Okay. I like it. So with that being said, do you have like a favorite High School Musical like character?
Probably Gabriella, and it's cool. She loves wrestling.
This man, I feel like wrestling now is because at one point it was very much a you can't tell anybody that you love wrestling or you're in wrestling, and now it's just kind of like no, this is what I do, and they at least have a
Yeah.
reference point, which is always great.
But I also love Sharpay too, and Sharpay had like her own movie, like Sharpay's Fabulous Adventures, which was pretty good too.
Okay.
So.
So with that being said, you've traveled quite a bit. So you mentioned Puerto Rico, you mentioned Japan. Are there any other places? I mean, obviously, barring that you have time off from your work, are there any other places that you want to travel and wrestle in?
My number one, I want to go to Barcelona really bad. That's like my number one. I want to go to Barcelona. But really, I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Korea because I'm Korean and they do have a promotion out there in Korea. It's small, but it's like the wrestling community isn't that big in Korea, but it's growing. So I want to go out there and wrestle as well.
So how do you like do you like look at the promotions and then you kind of contact them, or like how does it work if you want to, not the big ones like Mexico or Japan, like for other countries that have smaller wrestling, or even if they do have wrestling organizations or promotions, do you reach out to them, or how does it work?
So it can be either or. Like some people will reach out to me or my dad, and then some you have to reach out to them. But the place that so the wrestling promotions in like other countries and other states, a lot of them they're smaller, so they don't have enough money to fly you out and everything. So really, it's like if you're going on vacation to here, you'll message and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be here. Can I be on this show?"
Okay,
And
gotcha.
maybe things will work out. Maybe something will line up, or if you're willing to drive that far, you can reach out.
Okay. Now, still kind of not a long time in the game, but as far as women's wrestling, even the last 10 years, it's been crazy. So do you have a list of people, like, so we'll divide it because the list can be like amazing. So women of the past that you would love to have a match with, women currently you would love to have a match with who would be those?
So women of the past, I've been really getting into a lot of Chigusa Nagayo. She was a Japanese wrestler, and have you seen that Dump, like biopic series on Netflix?
No.
It's like
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
yeah,
I know
it's
okay.
really good. It's
Okay.
really good, but that got me into like the old Japanese women's wrestling. It's Dump Matsumoto and Chigusa Nagayo. So, and if you go back and see like the Crush Gals, Chigusa was so amazing, and I feel like she was so ahead of her time in women's wrestling. So I would love to wrestle her. I would love to wrestle Sumi Sakai, Natalya.
It's time. Like
I don't know.
let's have it go.
I feel like I have to wrestle Naomi because she was like the one wrestler I dressed up as a kid. Like when she was the Funkadactyls, like I was like a cheerleader, so I would dress up as her all the time. Like I would go to shows with like my pom poms and everything, which is probably embarrassing, but I definitely brought my like pom poms and whole cheer outfit. Melina, Mickey James, of course, because she's helped me out a lot. Molly Holly, she's really nice. And present, really, I love Charlotte Flair. I don't know if she's present, right?
It gets kind of complicated. So like with Natalya, Naomi, Charlotte Flair, it really just depends because now it's a timing thing, right? Because say hypothetically, WWE signed you, but they sign you like in 2 or 3 years, right? The timeline, you go to NXT, like it's just very dependent. And then it's the storyline, like it's very like it could happen, but then it also like
but it's good. Not. A lot of women are keeping being able to wrestle for a lot long because it used to just be like 2 or 3 years you're done, but now women are having 10-year careers, so like it's great.
I'm
trying to think. Yeah, like present, I would think like Ariana Grace, Zoe Stark, Roxanne or Roxy, Jada Parker, Lash
Mm-hmm.
Legend. I love basketball, so I love Lash Legend. Um, I'm trying to think. Just anybody and everybody, really.
Okay, okay. So I'm really this Natalya thing. I want to kind of explore it a little bit. So
Okay.
so if you were to like cut a promo on Natalya, like calling her out, like
Oh
is there
no.
anything you would say to her? I mean, because you've known her since you were a kid, so I mean, is there anything that you would,
Yeah,
just
no.
to kind of get her going a little bit?
Trying to think. Like I just saw her at Raw, so like now I'm like towering over her now. Like I used to be so much smaller, but now she's looking up to me.
There's
Maybe
some
that's
words
something.
there.
I don't.
There's some words there. If you were to if you were to describe your wrestling persona in 3 words, what would it be?
2 words. The baddest mofo down around this town.
Okay. The bat.
I got
That,
my whole shown up. The meanest, the prettiest, baddest mofo down.
I like it. And then if you weren't wrestling, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't wrestling, I love languages. So
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't have wrestling, I would have probably went into like college to be like a translator for like
Okay.
Spanish or ASL. So I
And
love
do you?
languages,
Oh,
traveling.
nice. How many languages do you speak?
I know Spanish and ASL. I'm trying to learn Korean. I know a little Japanese.
And so, are you using Duolingo or like how are you learning?
Yeah,
Because I.
now I
Oh.
am. But I took Spanish and ASL. Like I took 4 years of Spanish in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and then I took ASL in high school as well. But like Korean, I kind of learned it from K dramas and K-pop. I have Korean family, but they're all the
Uh-huh.
way in LA in Koreatown. But also my boyfriend, his mom's Korean, so she's been learning Korean. I've been learning a little bit
Oh,
from her
nice.
as well. So
Okay.
and then Japanese. When I went to Japan, I was using Duolingo like crazy. I was like, I gotta know at least something. But Japanese is so hard. They have so many. They have like 2 alphabets. I don't even know, but really, you learn it from being there.
Uh-huh.
So that one
Yeah,
was super hard.
I like Duolingo, but it's one of those things where it I don't know if you get this. So I've been learning Spanish on and off for like forever. Um, but so I'm like, I really want to be able to speak it fluently. And so Duolingo is like this thing, you start it and you can get like a solid 10 days and then life happens. And then they
Yeah,
send you these very disrespectful messages like,
yeah, they
hey,
do.
haven't heard from you. And I was like, I'm gonna come back, I promise. And then they're like, we're gonna drop you. It's been 2 months. Like, oh no, like
Yeah,
it's just very, it's very
no,
creative.
I actually did that. Like free, like 30, like 2 weeks of like the Duolingo Plus, and then I forgot about it, and I actually spent like $150 for like the year plan.
Oh wow, wait. So what does the plus do? Does it just not do the commercials or something?
So the Plus, there's no commercials. It's like unlimited hearts, and then you can like video call on it and like have like a conversation with like a cartoon character. But
Oh,
honestly, I accidentally bought that because I didn't know I was still subscribed. You have to unsubscribe before the free part cancels.
uh-huh.
Once I was already in Japan, and I felt like Duolingo did not help me at all. So I was like, I'm not using that app again. And then I
Oh
saw the
no.
charge. I was like, oh my god, I got to use
Oh
it a little bit, and I just never used it.
yeah, it's hard. It speaks to the human condition. We can only do so much, so many
Yeah.
things. So I mean, shout out to Duolingo, I guess maybe not. um, so with that being said, you also had said, I think you said that Lita was also an inspiration to you. So is there any type of like storyline that you would like to have with her?
With Lita, um, moonsault versus moonsault. I feel like I got a pretty good moonsault.
Okay.
But also, my dad's like him and Jeff Hardy are really close, so maybe something can work out there.
Would you
Mixed tag.
want like a or would your dad be into like say because you had almost I mean Ric Flair wasn't in the ring but you had Rick and Charlotte come out, would you be interested in something like that where they have a tag like you and your dad like a tag team?
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm when I started on the indies, I was really doing a lot of tags with my dad most of the time to get me like started. So yeah, that'd be cool. It's always fun to be out there with my dad. I'm always scared he's gonna get hurt though, but
Right.
but he can still go in the ring. So I feel
Yeah,
like
I
that'd
feel
be
like
cool.
wrestlers, even though they're super, like if they're injured or it's just time for them to like hang it, they just never do. It's very
Yeah.
interesting. Um, oh, what about like I'm trying to think of another father daughter duo because that would be like head to
If
head.
I would say I always say Ariana Grace and Santino Marella.
Yeah, that would. I mean, it's possible too.
Yeah, that one's possible. That one's definitely possible.
Oh, I feel
Because
like we
I
should
don't know any
campaign
other
for
ones,
that.
but I know that
Yeah,
one could happen.
we should campaign for that.
Hopefully.
I would love to see it.
But that's
Um,
why I wonder if they're gonna make me change my name if I ever go. Because Ariana Grace had to change her name because they don't want
mm,
you like.
right. Hmm.
Well, it could
Well,
happen. You never know. I feel like it would be a good story.
it would be a good story. I'm campaigning for that. But before we get out of here, so we're at the start of 20. I was gonna say 2024, but clearly it's not. We're at the start of 2025. I always like to like, especially when I have interviews at the beginning of the year. What are your like hopes for this year? Like, what's the goals for this year?
For this year, I'm hoping to get to wrestle in Europe. Hopefully, Europe. The biggest goal would be to get signed by the end of this year so I can start paying off this house. But yeah, just getting better, getting to travel, go to more places. I want to go to another country because I've only been to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So either Mexico or Europe. I'd like to knock one of those off.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I mean, it's all very possible. And with that being said, where can everybody find you, support you, all the things?
Jazzy Yang on Instagram, Jazzy Wang Yang on Twitter, Facebook, um, and Yun Yun Sauce 3 on TikTok if it doesn't get banned again. But
Oh yeah, there was like I think you were part of a faction, right? What this was like I always do this. There was like one other
Empower.
question. Yeah, so are you part of any like is there any storylines or factions on the indie scenes that we should be looking out for as well?
No, not really. The Indies is just like sporadic, It's like the Wild Wild West out here, but
Yeah, it depends on the promotion because like every sometimes
yeah.
promotions have like these long storylines. You're like, wait, I missed all of it. How do I catch up? And some of them are like, no, we're just throwing this together. And like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna enjoy
Yeah,
this.
yeah. But I actually wrestle Nikki Heat a lot. She's like not she's like newer to the indie scene. So
Mm-hmm.
check her out. I've wrestled her so many times. We're like there's only a few girls in Georgia, so I've gotten to wrestle her a lot and she has a lot of passion for wrestling. So
Well, there it is. Well, I hope to see your numbers skyrocket on PWI. I hope you get
thank
signed. I
you.
hope everything you're traveling to Mexico and Europe, you're getting everything done that you want this year. So I'm putting it in the
Thank you.
universe for you.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you everybody for joining Women's Wrestling Talk. My name is TK Trinidad. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad, and make sure you follow Women's Wrestling Talk on everything at www.talkpod.com. Till next time, thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao, y'all.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.